Welcome back, everybody. We got a battle of the Blue Buds here between Michigan State and UNC. It's going to be a great game. Right now, it's ranked as a 17 and 18 matchup. Obviously, AP poll is going to come out since recording this video, so that will change. And this is in the Fort Meyers tip-off, so neutral site here. Obviously, UNC is a lot closer than Michigan State. But just to start, how big of a role do you think the absence of Seth Trimble will play in this game?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out. This is the first big game since UNC played Kansas. This is their first big game without Seth Trimble. But I think they've got to have others. They will have other guys step up. And obviously, you're losing one of your best players. It's always going to impact you. It's going to impact the best teams. But we'll find out how good UNC is in this matchup, depending on how good the next guy steps up. Because there's going to be injuries this year. That's basketball. People get injured. People can't play. So it's all about who can step up. And the good teams have good guys that step up.
Yeah, Seth Trimble was a big part of that win against Kansas. I mean, if you remember, they came back late in the game. They were down double digits going into half, which should not have ever been the case. But he ended up having 17 points and 8 rebounds in that game, which is a crucial stat line for that game. It's the first big game since, and I think who cares if they lose this game? Why not be battle-tested early in the season? November is when you want to have your losses, especially if they're to great teams. So I think this is the perfect time for Seth Trimble to be out. But I do think it'll be a big deal, but I think they can overcome it for sure.
I do too. They have the offense. They have the offensive weapons. Their offense isn't the concern this year. If they can be defensively sound and rebound, they will go as far as they want to go. They can score as many points as you want.
Yeah, I mean, for North Carolina, those weapons include true freshman Caleb Wilson. Phenomenal so far. 20.6 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 2 steals per game. And he's shooting 40% from behind the line and 67% from the field. So it's not like he's getting free cherry picks here and there. He's earning every basket, and he's making shots for himself. And then when you move down the lineup, you've got junior Henry Vasar, 7-foot center for this team, averaging 15 points per game, 8 rebounds. He was a transfer from Arizona, and he stepped into a bigger role this year. He averaged 9 points per game and 5 rebounds in Arizona. Played there for 2 years. He was obviously a little piece of the puzzle for that success the last couple of years, but I do think he's a big reason why they won that game against Kansas, and I would look for him to be a pretty good player in this ACC conference and for this UNC team.
Yeah, back to the Caleb Wilson. He's had 20-plus points a game in every game besides against Radford.
Yep.
I mean, obviously Radford, that doesn't really matter.
I mean, what more can you ask for from a true freshman?
Exactly. He's really, so far without Seth Trimble, he's basically the offense's identity. Obviously, they have other guys that contribute still and contribute at a high level, but he has shown through these first 5 games that the offense goes as he goes, and obviously the guys pick up after him. But he has been basically the key to their offense. And then on the Henry Vasar side, he's basically the modern big. He can shoot it. He's a threat from behind the arc, and he's also a threat in the post, which really helps this. I think that's why UNC is so good offensively, because you can stretch him wherever you want. You can put him out up top, and you can leave the post wide open for your guards to just go to work and let them play the way they play.
And then the guy I expect has kind of stepped up for Seth Trimble, but I expect to in this game is Luka Bogovac. He's a 6'6" guard, true freshman as well. He's averaged 12.5 points per game and 3.5 rebounds per game. He did step up versus Navy, and like I said, he needs to do the same here in this game. Just because Seth Trimble, not only was he a scorer, he was a rebounder, and he helped out this team with boards and the best teams in college basketball rebound, and that's going to be a challenge for them going up against this Michigan State team.
Yeah, I mean, guys like Cohen Carr and Jackson Kohler are going to be flying all over the place. And even Jeremy Fears gets some rebounds here and there. It's hard to out-rebound Cohen Carr, who can jump. He's going to be the highest jumper in the gym. But, yeah, the key, like I said earlier, the key for UNC all season will be, and especially against Michigan State, will be how well can they be defensively and how well can they rebound.
Yeah, let's move into Michigan State. So both of these teams truly utilize their big mans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, UNC's got two true big men, or one true big man, another just freak athlete in Caleb Wilson. But then you go to Michigan State, they got Jackson Kohler, who's a pretty good big man, and then Cohen Carr, who's also a freak athlete, can jump out of the gym. But
the scary thing about Cohen is sometimes he gets put at the 2 or 3 slot instead of the 4 or 5, and that's scary to have a guy like Cohen Carr being the number 2 or 3 on Michigan State's offense. And he's progressed offensively this year.
He has.
Year to year, he has. The first year, he's averaging around 3 points per game. Last year, he's averaging around 8. So far this year, he's averaging around 11. He can shoot the 3 this year, which last year he really couldn't. People would just run him off the line or let him stay on the line because they didn't want to let him run past him. And so him being able to shoot the 3 ball is really going to open up the opportunities for him to go flying into the rim, which is huge momentum plays for Michigan State.
Yeah, and so both teams having great depth at the big position, whatever you want to call it. Which team do you think succeeds in that aspect of the game? Because that's going to be a big part.
I think it's UNC. Henry Vasar has played high-level basketball both years at Arizona. Although at the same time, Cohen Carr and Jackson Kohler haven't shied away from any big game in their career. They played plenty of good games at Michigan State. This is old school basketball. They're going to run through their bigs, and the bigs are going to be basically how their team plays. If the bigs can play good, their team will play good, which it's pretty exciting. I mean, I feel like that's kind of a little bit of modern day, but a little bit of old fashioned basketball. So it'll be fun to see how they stack up. Jackson Kohler's not the tallest guy, but at the same time, Jackson Kohler will shoot and can shoot from 3. And so that also, at the same time, Michigan State can be open offensively in the lane, let Jeremy Fears and guys like Cohen Carr just go to town. And so it's kind of similar teams going at each other, which we've kind of seen that so far this year. And so it'll be exciting to see who can theoretically beat themselves the best.
Yeah, they are very similar. The thing that was so impressive about the win against Kentucky for Michigan State is they just shot lights out.
They were dominant.
Which is not who they usually are. They were 50% from behind the line and 50% from the field. But since then, they've kind of struggled. They're only 29% on the whole season. So that includes the 50% game from behind the line. So that's a big aspect of it. If they can shoot the ball well, this game's going to be a great game, and I think they'll be able to pull away with it. But Jackson Kohler, Jeremy Fears, and Cohen Carr are going to have to do a lot of work. It's going to be a trio up against a trio for UNC and Michigan State, and they all have like their little pros and cons. Caleb Wilson can do everything, and that's pretty much the same with Jackson Kohler, in my opinion. He can shoot the ball, and he can also play in the paint. And I don't know. I would guess they're going to be matched up with each other, both being right around that 6'10" range. So that's going to be a great matchup. But then you also have Jeremy Fears, who's a great point guard. And right now, UNC is kind of missing that, honestly. So although UNC has great big men,
that could be the difference in the game.
It could be. Michigan State has a great point guard in Jeremy Fears. He's averaging 10 assists a game, which is insane.
You can't ask for much more.
I was about to say, Tom Izzo has to be pretty happy with how that's playing. He's got to love that, being an old-time coach. And that's usually when he has his best teams, is when he has a fantastic point guard that knows how to share the ball. You look back to Cassius Winston. I mean, that's just one that jumps off the page right there. So I'm excited to see what this team does. Actually, both teams do.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan State's just an old-fashioned coach. Tom Izzo has proved himself in big games before, and he will probably prove himself again in this game.
I mean, he's proven himself twice already.
Yeah,
beating Kentucky and Arkansas.
That Kentucky, they ran Kentucky out of the gym. Mm-hmm. Their three-point shooting was in Michigan State has never been a three-point shooting team. They don't live and die by 3. I wouldn't say that, but they live by the 3. They don't die by the 3, but they live by the 3.
They've learned how to succeed in many different ways.
Yes.
In the Arkansas game, it was not a three-point shooting contest at all. In the Kentucky game, I mean, they were letting everything fly. Their first 5 buckets in the Kentucky game were all threes, which is very odd for, like you said, a Tom Izzo team. But that also shows some growth and some strength there. Is that okay, if you're not going to let them shoot the three, they'll just beat you inside. And, if you're not going to let them get some points in the paint, all right, we'll let it fly, and it's going to work. So I think that shows the just the
versatility.
Yeah, the versatility of this Michigan State team.
Yeah, I was going to say it both shows how well coached Tom Izzo coaches these guys. I mean, you try to take away one thing, and Izzo just tells them to do the other. And just also the fact that Izzo's letting them and trying to have them shoot the three. He knows this day and age you got to shoot the three to succeed. And at the same time, he gets away with it sometimes. The coaches adapt, and he's been doing that. But at the same time, it's going to be hard defensively, especially for UNC as a team that we don't know their defensive identity yet. And so for a team that's both good beyond the arc and in the paint, I don't know what you take away from him. What do you want them to do? Beat them? You want them to beat you behind the arc or beat them inside? I really don't know.
Yeah, so let's just wrap it all up here with your predictions for this game. Going to be a great game nonetheless. Very equally balanced teams like we've talked about, strength against strength, big man against big men. Just what do you think takes the cake?
I think Michigan State barely wins this one. Caleb Wilson, I know, is going to have a great game, but I just think Michigan State just seems too hard to defend, especially as UNC lacking in defense. But at the same time, UNC could just run them out of the gym. UNC has the capability to do that, but I think Michigan State will make this a slow-paced game. They can be slow-paced. They can also be up-paced, which is also what I love about the Michigan State Tom Izzo team. They can play any play style you want, and they're comfortable with that. So give me Michigan State.
Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Michigan State. I did watch the whole UNC game versus Kansas. So part of me is hesitant to pick, or I'm just going to put it out there. I think Michigan State's going to win this game. Tom Izzo is a fantastic coach, and I think what these type of matchups comes down to, who coaches better. But back to UNC, that first half for UNC was not great by any means, and I get it. It was the first game of the season. If they get the first games of the season,
if they get down like that against Michigan State, there's no coming back. You just can't. You can't be 20 points down against a team that has shown the ability to shoot lights out and can also destroy you in the paint. You just can't get down that far.
And so just seeing that vulnerability of UNC in that Kansas game kind of leads me to believe that Michigan State's going to take advantage of that. And I just think that Michigan State has the versatility like we talked about, and they can play any game style they want, and that's hard to defend if you're any opposing team. So I'm going to have to go Michigan State here, but I do think it'll be not much higher than 82 for the winning score.
I would agree.
So that's all we have for you guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you for all your support. And we have a fantastic week of sports with college basketball and rivalry week in football. If you haven't already, watch that. Coming out later this week is the Ohio State versus Michigan preview. Big game. We know the implications there. So make sure you guys go check that out. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.